Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good.
Awesome.
Um, so there's a whole thing around AI, which is the fear that it will conquer and eat and destroy humanity, like in The Matrix and all of the post-apocalyptic science fiction films. Um, but what people don't know is that there is a trend in the industry right now that aims at working into the safety of AI systems. Um, so it would be interesting if we unpack a bit of what's inside this idea of AI safety or generative AI safety, to be more specific. Um, what do you think if we start by defining what generative AI is before talking about the safety of it?
Generative AI enters in a bigger concept of AI, which itself includes machine learning and deep learning. So generative AI is under the umbrella of deep learning. It's made out of neural networks. And the big difference between Gen AI and traditional AI is that Gen AI generates data and in a manner that traditional AI doesn't. Traditional AI is just outputting a decision, a prediction, a recommendation, and Gen AI just creates something that usually is image, music, videos. It could be many more things, games and financial data or 3D, but the big definition is that it generates something completely new.
Yeah, it not only analyzes and decides, but only creates something that wasn't there.
Exactly.
Um, and what would be safety in the context of general AI? What would mean that a generative AI system is safe for us humans? I'm guessing.
Right. So that's an ongoing area of research. But what I can say, in my opinion, is that first of all, it's always ongoing. The same way as a human in between themselves, like are always finding new ways to protect from each other,
Yeah.
and there are always new threats. I believe that as AI gonna go along with humans, it's gonna be a constant area of ongoing research and back and forth protection and threat.
So it's let's say it's a process in which, as humans, we'll need to identify what a generative AI system could do that could harm us, and then build solutions that would inhibit those AI systems to perform those actions, right? Something like that?
Yeah, I think that this is a nascent industry right now where at the present time we are basically detecting what the attacks that the AI can do against us. However, right now it's mostly directed by other humans.
Okay.
Take the example of a GenAI system, a large language model, for example. Humans will do a prompt injection. They just write a prompt that will be an attack that is designed. It could be designed by another AI system that is built to generate a jailbreak injection, prompt injections. But mostly it's used by human right now. As AI is getting more and more intelligent, we might see self-sustaining systems, AI systems, that will generate new kind of threats that we haven't imagined yet.
You just mentioned some examples like jailbreak. Let's go a bit deeper into what you think are the things that could go wrong with an AI system. Where, as of right now, we know that some things that Uh, what are the dangers today?
So we have identified 5 major areas of threats at our company. They include abusive behavior from users.
So,
And
so it's not from the AI. So it's
right now, yeah, and I'm talking about generative system for now. Abusive behavior, hallucination, that's the second one. Bias, prompt injection and jailbreak, and data leak.
okay. Let's go into the first one. That you said it's not from the AI, but I like to go a bit deeper and know why you're including it. This was it violence or no abusive user detection? What can you say about that?
Well,
What is it? What is abusive user?
Well, it's simply like, when you interact with some generative model and you would, for example, ask it to generate an image that has some component of violence in it, graphic violence, or hate, or self-harm, or sexual content. This would be considered as abuse.
So in this first category, we are speaking about AI being used by humans that have harmful intentions.
Exactly.
I'm good at framing it like that.
Totally. Yes.
Okay. Next one was hallucination, was it?
Exactly. So hallucination is a concept that is an active area of research right now. And there are many ways that a model can hallucinate. And this is a complex way to detect it. So we have developed proprietary algorithm to detect hallucination in large language models, for example.
So what do you mean by hallucination? How do you define it?
A hallucination is when a large language model or a diffusion model is giving you an information that has no base in reality or real fact.
Okay.
You might not always be able to identify it because sometimes it can be very subtle. And so there are many cases, many times where, for example, you would use a large language model and he would tell you an information that you will blindly believe, but it has no base in reality.
So we could say that it's when AI is wrong, right? If an AI language model says something that is not based on reality, it's like a wrong statement.
Yes,
Something that's not true.
Yes, you could say that. Sometimes there are gray areas where it's more subjective, or the model doesn't have all the information that's required to take the right decision, and he will go along with what you believe,
Okay.
or he will go along with the statistical output that he gets at this specific moment, or it will just not be accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one would be you said jailbreak, was it?
We could talk about bias detection because bias in AI models is a very important concern, especially nowadays. And companies care a lot about having models that are the least biased possible. There are different ways we can mitigate bias. We have developed a technology that can identify biases in large language models. So examples of bias could be gender bias, for example, age, race, religion, social economic status, nationality, disability, etc., etc.
You know what's very funny to me, listening to you, is that all of these three things that you mentioned first, being user abuse, hallucination, and bias are human problems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either a human using it the wrong way or AI mimicking us too good, too well.
No, you totally have a point. Like, and we should see how we mitigate those risks among humans. I think we're doing a pretty bad job right now to um, to do that, and hopefully we'll do a better job with artificial intelligence. And I think we are on the way to do it.
Let's take these three things that I think that are very similar within each other, because the other two that you mentioned, they were jailbreak, data leakage. Those seem more technical, but these three are based on the behavior. So, what can be done in order to make AI systems more safe in these three categories?
So there are a lot to be done, but and this is again, it's an active area of research.
Yeah.
So we are developing right now. At the moment I'm talking to you, we're developing models and algorithms that are solving those issues. But most and foremost, I think it's very important to be able to detect them in the first place. And the first thing is to be able to detect them, because they are not always obvious. So this would be the first step, and then there would be some remediation. And in between those two steps, there would be some kind of blocking those those attacks or those abuse that are made against generative AI systems.
So it would be detecting, stopping them, and then modifying the model in order to prevent them to happen again in the future.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the remaining two dangers, let's say, that you mentioned. Remind me, which ones were there?
So we have what we call prompt injections or jailbreak.
Okay.
There are various ways that you can interact with the large language model and make it behave in a way that it's non-standard and that is undesirable. And so prompt injection is, for example, when the user is injecting a malintentioned prompt and trying to extract or to make the model say something that is malintentioned. Jailbreak is when you for example, you inject some data into PDF that you feed it to your large language model. It could be a very large file, but at some very specific point, you will include some malintentioned information. And then the generative system would just read that and bias the user.
So it's a way, both of these are ways in which the AI model could be hacked, let's say.
Yeah, totally. These are new ways that AI systems can be hacked, and we are actively looking and testing at those new ways in order to best serve our clients and enterprises.
And the last one was data leakage, right?
Data leakage, it's simply when data is leaked from, undesirably leaked from a model, for example, some privacy information, or for example, when you are able to extract the functioning of a model from prompting it in various different ways, you gather some output and you were able to reconstruct the model. So that would be data lineage or observability.
Okay. And the same question that I asked regarding the three first cases, but regarding these last two, what can be done in order to prevent this hackability? Because I think that in both cases, it's a system being hacked, either to extract information or to break the system into doing something that
Totally.
isn't.
So I think you nailed it. It's these are systems being hacked, and the same way as the traditional industry is solving those problems. So we have decades-long in the industries in cybersecurity, and it is an ongoing process. So you always have constantly watching what are the threats, finding solution. It's a very adversarial practice where you get attacked, or you do red teaming, for example, and you test your system and you test the customer systems. And it's a back and forth, and we build and we strengthen our systems along the way.
What I'm reflectioning is that, as we said, it's different things, and the first three that we mentioned, they feel as safety concerns, and the last three, they feel as security concerns. You said that they are more connected to the traditional cybersecurity industry and the solutions that industry provides. But in the safety zone is protecting ourselves from the AI doing the things that bad humans do. And
Totally.
the second case is protecting the AI from bad humans trying to break it or abuse it or...
Yeah, so that's actually what you can see in the newest regulation that has been released right now. One of which a couple of days ago, the European Union AI Act has been put into action 4 days ago. With the 1st of August, when it will start to be implemented. This is the first regulation that typically targets AI systems. And as you mentioned, one of the biggest aspect of this new regulation is that it gives different levels of different attacks. From levels of severity, I mean. From mild to very hard.
What are the tools available for an organization or an individual who manages or develops an AI system in order to protect themselves?
So right now, it's not...
To prove this AI model.
Yeah, totally. So that has not been a huge concern of enterprises until now, until that there are regulation put in place, soon to be the Executive AI Act in the US. China has actually put in place about 2 years ago, started for traditional AI system, but companies are only starting now to care about that. This is an ongoing problem, and from what we've heard from companies is that there is a convergence between cybersecurity systems and governance, risk, and compliance systems. And so that's what we're trying to do at Ultra Deep Tech. Our company is to create an integrated system that gathers governance, risk, and compliance with cybersecurity systems, all in one, in a systemized way to defend the enterprise.
So that the people that take decisions, I'm checking if I understood. So that the people that make decisions can monitor the status of their company systems and provide the knowledge to the people who can build the solutions to take the necessary actions, right?
Totally. So we've built a monitoring tool that detects those different threats that I talked about and gives the choice to our customers to mitigate those risks. So, for example, block a specific prompt that is considered as abusive, and then the company can decide in real time to let it go or to mitigate while it's been blocked.
When do you think is the best moment to take action regarding these topics? Should a company wait until these regulations are out and implemented, or should they take proactive action before this is actually...
I think that companies should definitely start building AI right now with security and safety from the get-go, because that's already started to be implemented as a regulation, but companies that are going to survive tomorrow need to take those safety measures from the beginning. And that's what we do at Ultra Deep Tech. We build AI systems with safety and security in mind from the get-go. And we have built the tools for that, and we deliver this to our clients. That's why our clients are the most privileged when it comes to building AI systems and being advantaged against all the competition.
It must be much better to think about the solution to these problems when you're building the model than backporting them afterwards when you have everything
totally
up and running.
And I would even add something more, is that when you build in safety and security inside the building of your systems, it actually gives constraint to your system, and it helps it to outperform the competition. One big example that you can see in the market right now of what I just said is Anthropic versus OpenAI. The founders of Anthropic left OpenAI because they disagreed of the policy of expansion of OpenAI. They wanted to favor safety above all. And now look, their model is better. Why? Because they have focused on safety, and it gives more constraint that allows the model to be more performance in the end.
So we're talking about ChatGPT and
Claude,
right? Yeah, because people
the two big best models right now in the market.
Okay, we'll see what the future has for us. Let's hope that Terminator is not on the cards.
Yeah.
And what we know is that if there is a Terminator, it won't come out of a Ultra Deep Tech build system.
Definitely not. No.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ali.
Thank you.